Hello, hello, it's Simone. It's another sketch challenge day for Stuck Sketches. This is the sketch and this is the finished layout that I created. And I used the September Cocoa Daisy kit. It was very woodsy and yeah, uh, worked perfectly with this photo. Or that's what I thought. So I thought I would use this vanilla cardstock, and then I'm just going through the papers to show you what I have here to choose from. And I was thinking about using that leaf paper, but I actually didn't really get to use it. Um, I struggled a lot with this layout. I think I know why. You will see later on. But I'm really happy with how it turned out in the end. So there is a circle behind the picture in the sketch, and I was inspired to use those tree shapes as the circle. And this is probably my problem. I didn't use one behind the photo. I made a cluster of 4 circles, and that is a really strange shape. Building a layout on top of that probably was what took me so long and why I struggled so much with it. So this is the beginning of the process, and I sped it up 8 times because I am ripping apart most of this. However, I'm using the colors and the papers that you see here, so I left this part in because I really wanted you to see what I chose so that you can later understand what things I used for the layout, how it turned out in the end. So I'm cutting down papers that are suggested in the shapes and sizes that are suggested in the sketch. My photo is not a real square because I would have had to cut off some of my kids' heads or legs. I didn't want this to happen. So it's not the same height as the journaling card that I chose for to use. Maybe that is another reason why it didn't look right with a square photo or an almost square photo. And I left in my me choosing the embellishments that I used on the layout. This is the Vintage Blessings collection from Simple Stories, and it's a fall ephemera pack, and it is very geared towards Thanksgiving, gathering together, love, family, and all of that. And it didn't really work with my photo. So I chose everything that would maybe work with this layout. You can see there is a strip of pattern papers that look like shutters left and right of the photo. And yeah, now I'm butchering my photo. And I please cross your fingers that this will work. I am cutting out the top of the silhouettes of my sons from this photo. But I'm not going to cut them out completely. I'm leaving the photo shape at the bottom, but I'm cutting out their heads. And then I'm taking it all apart, but I will be using most of the things that I had on the layout. So this is a journaling card that I cut apart, and now I'm going to use this as a background for my photo. And I really like how this looks. And then I will build my layers from this. And I am very happy with how this layout turned out, given the fact that I thought at that point, just before I started cutting out the silhouettes, that I had to trash the whole thing because I did not like the way it turned out. So, okay, so I'm adding those strips that were suggested in the sketch, and then I added the journaling card, and I also backed the whole thing with a pink dotted paper that you saw at the left side. And now I fuzzy cut I just realized that fuzzy cutting isn't what I thought it was. It's probably precision cut, actually. The mushroom toadstool to make an embellishment cluster on the bottom left edge of the photo. This is where the sketch also suggests to have an embellishment cluster. And then I'm adding those banner shapes. I cut this journaling card apart as well. It's green, and I really like that it pulls the color green up to the top. And yeah, I really like that now it it just finishes off the top part of the layout. And I decide that I am going to pop up the heads of my sons. Um, and then also put some foam tape behind the top part of the layers there. So the bottom part is flush and the top part is popped up. However, I have that flag that is also going to be popped up on foam as well as the mushroom. So this gives the whole layout a lot more dimension. And now I'm really confident that this is going to be to work out and that I can use this as a layout for this sketch challenge. Yeah. Um, Now, what else? I'm adding embellishments and then I decide I'm going to have another cluster to finish off the green stripe there, right here. I really like having this as a frame for my embellishments and my layout, and I really like those birds. I just don't know where to place them, and so I'll just put them there for a while and see how I like it. And now, instead of gluing down the mushroom, I think I didn't already stick it down. I need to see if my title will fit in. So this is what I'm working on now. I'm using uh, the letters that came in the kit, and those are chipboard. The top is chipboard and the bottom is foam, and the foam is this blue purplish color. It looks really cool, but what I didn't like is that when you took it off, the chipboard, since the foam is squishy and it will bend, the chipboard will bend and then it has creases. And I don't like these kinds of things. That's something that really throws me off and annoys me. But I decided just don't look at the letters, don't move them anymore. Just leave them there. And now I really need to find out if this embellishment cluster will work. It's very close to the edge. And there was this tree in the ephemera pack, and I didn't know if I wanted to use it or not. It worked because we were at a so I think this is similar to what Americans call zip lining. It's climbing attached to a line in the forest. So the tree wasn't off. It worked with the whole theme, and I decided, oh well, since I have toadstools on there and it's my kids on there, it doesn't have to be so abstract or whatever you want to call this. Just slap that tree there. It really also, it doesn't only go with the theme, it also finishes off the right edge of the journaling card. It really looks like it belongs there. So it balances my kids, you could call trees as well. They are on the left, and then there is this tree on the right. So that is like if you would use a scale, it balances the layout. Okay, so I looked through the ephemera pack for another of those banner shapes. I knew there was one in there and it took a long time to find it, but I really needed a dark something on the bottom there. So I placed it there, and sweater weather worked, even though this is actually not a fall layout. This happened at Easter. But it was pretty cool and very muddy weather. So sweater weather actually works. Now I'm just actually finishing off the layout with some puffy stickers. I have started to like to doing this. I haven't done this a lot before, and I don't know if you saw if I already stuck them down, but I decided, yes, I am going to use the birds on the layout. I had found a spot for the yellow bird on top of the Remember This card, and so I decided to stick down the other one. It it gives this whole thing, there's a threesome. You have the bird and the toadstools, then you have the bird on the top and the toadstool and the tree on the bottom. And now I'm going to add this strip. I wasn't sure if I wanted to have this or not, but this is just a scrap piece of paper that lay around, and it worked really well. And then I just cut out another piece of that wood and added it there as like a tag. I think that is actually, I mirrored it from the sketch. It's on the other side, but that is suggested in the sketch. It's the label. So this kind of suggests a label. And then I'm sticking down all of the puffy stickers because they didn't stick with the sticky that they had on the back. And now I'm looking for something to put down here. I'm thinking about a circle, but it didn't really look well right. So I'm adding this banner, and I'm debating whether to put it to the left or the right. I like it better on the right side. And then I will stamp the date down there. And then I will call this layout done. Here are some close-ups. We would love for you to join us over on the Stuck Sketches blog. Check out the challenge and all the other team members' layouts. And if you decide to play along, please enter them in the link tool on the right side of the blog, because there are going to be prizes given away. If you want to keep on watching, there is 2 more Stuck Sketches layouts on screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.